Hi, and welcome to a new episode of Game Overload. I'm your host, Ed Jones, and today we'll be playing Dead by Daylight. Here with me today is my interviewee, Ben Schmaltz, and we will be here to help me discuss some of the details of the game. So, Dead by Daylight is a 4v1 horror type game where 4 people must survive in a map against 1 killer. The survivors need to escape without being killed, and the killer needs to kill the survivors.
I think that's kind of obvious.
It is very obvious. So there's at least like 10 different maps that you can go through, and there you can do many things in the game, like search chests, for instance. Searching a chest can give you an item of different rarities, and it could even possibly give you add-ons. These can be helpful to repair jennies, heal others, or even yourself. It's just a great way to help escape the killer. So yeah, another thing with surviving is doing jennies. The jennies are the main key to escaping because you have to power up 5 of them in order to be escaped with more than 1 person. And the jennies, when all 5 are powered up, power a power gate. That is how everyone leaves. Only thing is that the game likes to keep you on your toes by adding skill checks. Skill checks can reward you or punish you. If you get a skill check, you can possibly boost the time it takes to do a jenny. But if you fail a skill check, the jenny will pop and it'll give the killer an alert as to where you are. So Ben, what are your thoughts on jennies?
Well, my thoughts on jennies are actually pretty simple, as I'm sure most people are thinking, and you as well. You just got to get them done, open the gate, and escape as fast as you can.
And skill checks?
Those are a little bit harder. I remember in some cases, such as like with this killer, we've had to do skill checks, but with really laggy systems or hosts, so it wasn't always the easiest to click them and get them correct.
Jennies can be a tough thing. So that was the way to escape with more than 1 person, by powering all the jennies and opening the escape gate. So next, another aspect of being a killer is using your environment. Your environment is a great way to hide, because if you can't get into a building to hide, then hide in a bush. And as a survivor, you can also rescue your friends when they're hooked. Simply by rescuing them, all you do is pull them off the hook. The only thing is that some killers like to camp the hook in order to give them a better chance of killing. It's not the most fair thing, but hey. You can also heal people when they're downed, or even when they're not down and they're just injured by the killer hitting them. Another way of using your surroundings to hide is using cabinets to escape the killer. And you can do those simply by just jumping in them, and the killers are almost oblivious. So yeah, this is another thing of using the environment. And also you see me messing up a jenny, and the killer knows exactly where I'm at. So now I have to leave the jenny if I don't want to be caught. So lastly, here is, I believe, a way to escape the game without actually powering up the jennies. It's escaping through the hatch. And the only way to escape through the hatch is when you at least power up 2 jennies. The hatch will appear and it'll open. And here's your menu when you see the game end as a survivor or a killer. You see the points that you earn, and the points are called blood points. Blood points are how you upgrade your character and get perks and items that you can take into the game with you and use them to help you survive and win the game. So at the end, you can also see all the loadouts that everyone used and everything else. Here you can also see different characters and killers in the game. And here is the blood web, and this is where you spin all your blood points to unlock the items that you want or need to survive. And each perk or item has its own different rarity, and that's based off of color.
I think the blood web is probably the easiest way to level up in this game.
There are 12 different killers that you can use, each with its own special power. And so the Wraith, this one, has a cloaking ability. So as a killer, when you're in a chase with a survivor, they leave red scratch marks everywhere. Even when hit, they may also leave a trail of blood. When you do catch a survivor and you fully down them, you are then able to hook them. Hooking survivors can kill them if they're left on the hook for too long. It'll take about 3 times, if that's the max times you can be hooked before you are fully killed. Another thing is damaging generators to stop the survivors from finishing their generators. So yeah, that's the end for the killer pretty much. So now Ben, what is your favorite killer?
I like the doctor with his electricity power.
So what does his electricity power do?
It allows the killer to shock people into a madness. The more they scream, allows people to find their victims more easily.
So does it, besides screaming, does it affect the survivors in any other way?
Their screen kind of goes really static-like. It kind of makes it a little bit harder to find the skill checks for Jenny's.
I think that's all that we have for today. So hope you guys enjoyed Dead by Daylight, and I hope to see you guys playing soon.